The words are easy. Join us. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
It is so wonderful to be here with all of you on this Shabbat. I am Rabbi Michael Weiss. I'm joined here on the Bima tonight by Cantor Deborah Canizaro, Robert Jarash, both of whom bring such beautiful music to our worship. And we are joined on the Bima tonight by our pulpit guests, Karen Green and Lou Port, who will be in the congregation, both of whom are representing our Board of Trustees, and we'll have a few words from them later on during the service. For those of you joining us from the small sanctuaries of your home, thank you for making us a part of your Shabbat experience. And we really do believe that when you participate with us from your home becomes an extension of our sanctuary and vice versa. We feel you here with us. We are grateful to have you here with us, giving your energy to us on this Shabbat. For those of you here in the room, we'll have all of the prayers you'll need on our slides. If one of the prayers is from the prayer book, there will be a page number. You all have prayer books somewhere nearby you, under your seat, in front of your seat. It's a really good way to keep your hands busy during the service. But also, there are all kinds of exciting things in there, creative readings connected to our prayers. So if you need to get a little bit lost, if you need to be on a different page from someone else, that is okay. But we can get lost in something that'll give us a little extra meaning on this Shabbat. During our service, there will be times where we ask the congregation to rise. If that is physically uncomfortable for you, please feel free to remain seated. We know that you'll be standing with us in your hearts. Shabbat is a very special day. I was talking to someone about ranking the Jewish holidays, and the thing that surprised them was that you might think the most important day of the year is Yom Kippur, right? The Day of Atonement. That's when everyone comes here. But the most important Jewish holiday is Shabbat. And that is not even remotely lessened by the fact that it comes every single week. In fact, I think that's what makes it so important. It becomes part of the rhythm of our lives. It is this island in time we intentionally build to keep out some of the things that diminish us, that keep us from our highest ethical potential. And the rabbis tell us that Shabbat is equivalent to 1/60th of Olam Haba, of the world to come, that time when the world will be perfect and everyone will get along and everyone will have what they need. Shabbat is a preview of that era on our planet. And God willing, the sanctity, the holiness, the joy and comfort of Shabbat will inspire us to bring about that time a lot sooner. Because boy, do we need it. So I hope that we all go into this Shabbat understanding that we are seeing a peak into paradise. And I hope that that means something for us tonight, and I hope you bring it back out with you when you leave the sanctuary and share it with others. So speaking of wonderful and joyous things, we are so lucky tonight to be able to celebrate with two Benot Mitzvah families. And we have them here with us, and they're going to be leading parts of our service. And so to lead us in our candle blessing, and if you're at home, I encourage you to get your own candles, we are going to invite up Adina Miller along with her parents, Dan and Kim, as they help us celebrate the Shabbat lights.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lihitatef lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
That's okay.
Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Amen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Amen.
Thank you so much, Adina and Dan and Kim, for bringing in the lights of Shabbat for us. We are excited to celebrate with you tomorrow morning. And for our Kiddush, and for those of you at home, feel free to get a little Kiddush. We are going to call up Danielle Stein and her family, Abe, Megan, and Andrew, to help us bring in some Shabbat sweetness.
Praise to you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who finding favor with us, sanctified us with mitzvot. In love and favor, you made the holy Shabbat our heritage as a reminder of the work of creation. As first among our sacred days, it recalls the exodus from Egypt. You chose us and set us apart from the peoples. In love and favor, you have given us your holy Shabbat as an inheritance. Praise to you, Adonai, who sanctifies Shabbat. Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pri hagafen.
Amen.
Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, creator of the fruit of the vine. Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava u'v'ratzon hilchilanu zikaron l'maseh v'reishit ki hu yom tehila l'mikra'e kodesh zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim ki banu v'acharta v'yota
That's Manischewitz for you. Well, Danielle, Abe, Megan, Andrew, thank you so much for bringing in some Shabbat sweetness. We are so excited to celebrate with you tomorrow afternoon.
And our opening song tonight is Hine Ma Tov. How wonderful it is when all of us are together and we are brothers and sisters living in peace, living in joy, living together.
Hine ma tov umanai shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov umanai shevet achim gam yachad.
How good it is.
How good it is.
How sweet it is.
How sweet it is to be together on this day.
How good it is.
How good it is.
How sweet it is.
How sweet it is to be together on this day. Hine ma tov umanai shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov umanai shevet achim gam yachad. Shalom aleichem, 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 shalom aleichem.
How good it is.
How good it is.
How sweet it is.
How sweet it is to be together on this day.
How good it is.
How good it is.
How sweet it is.
How sweet it is to be together on this day. Hine ma tov umanai shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov umanai shevet achim gam yachad. Teach me, O God, a blessing, a prayer, on the mystery of a withered leaf, on ripened fruit so fair, on the freedom to see, to sense, to breathe, to know, to hope, to despair. Teach my lips a blessing, a hymn of praise, as each morning and night you renew your days. Lest my day be today as the one before, lest routine set my ways.
Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Be'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei.
B'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chaye dechol beit Yisrael. Bagala, bagala, uvizman kariv.
Ve'imeru
Amen.
Yehesh
Yeheshme Rabba Mevorach, Le'olam ulal me'almaya, Yitbarach.
Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitramam v'yitnasar v'yitaseh v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal shemei dekudisha
Brichu.
la'ela min kol birchata v'shirata
Tushbechata v'nechemata, Damiran be'alma.
Ve'imeru
Amen. We rise now in our places or in our hearts for the Baruchu, our call to worship.
Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to prepared. Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la 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 la. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed Le'olam Va'ed Ya la 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 la, ya 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 la 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 la.
We'll read together. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol. All these things your Torah gives to us, and the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Blessed are you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod, Shem Kevod, Malchuto, Le'olam, Le'olam Vahed. And you may be seated. In honor of her bat mitzvah tomorrow morning, we would love to invite up Adina Miller to lead us in Ve'ahavta. Wait 1 second. It's okay, go ahead.
Ve'ahavta Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom alevavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibata bam B'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'lechtecha v'derech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha u'kshartam le'o al yadecha v'hayu le'totefot b'neinecha u'tavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha Leman tikru v'asitem ekol mitzvotai v'hitem kedoshim le'Elohehem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti echem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lahem le'Elohim
Yasher Koheich, beautifully led. And when everyone joins in with you, you know that's a good thing. So thank you for your shlichut tzibor, your prayer leadership of this community. Let's read together. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together.
Yai lai lai la 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 la, yai lai 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 ya la 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 la, ya lai la 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 ya lai la la la, ya la 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 la. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nehedor b'kodesh, norah tehilot osei feleh. Norah tehilot osei feleh. Malchutecha ra'u banecha, pokei hayom lifnei Moshe u'Miriam. Ze Elianu ve'amru, ze Elianu ve'ameru. Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. V'ne'emar ki vada Adonai et Yaakov u'ga'alo mi'ad chazak mimenu. Baruch atah Adonai Ga'al Yisrael.
Bless our sleep with peace, Adonai, and awaken us to life when we rise. With power sublime, spread over us your shelter of shalom, and through your wisdom restore us, make us whole. Let your name proclaim your presence in our lives. Be our shield. Make us stronger than the enemies we face. Carry us to safety as on wings. For you are the one who cares for us and sets us free. Watch over us, we who go forth to life. Watch over us that we may come home in peace, now until the end of time. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. Blessed are you, Adonai, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. The people of Israel shall keep Shabbat throughout the ages as a covenant for all time. It is a sign for all time between me and the people of Israel. For in 6 days Adonai made heaven and earth, and on the 7th day God ceased from work and was refreshed.
Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Ve'ni uvein b'nei Yisrael od hi le'olam, od hi le'olam. Ve'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai, asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. And we are so fortunate that tonight we have not one, but two Benot Mitzvah in our service. So I am honored to call up Danielle Stein, who will lead us in the Avot and Gevurot.
And we rise.
Adonai sefatai tiftafu fi agitei latecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rahel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Hasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, Bezocher chastei avot ve'imahot, umevii geula livnei v'neichem, lema'an shemo be'achava, melech ozer u'mashiach u'magen, Baruch atah Adonai, magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, mechayei hakol atah rav lechoshia, morid hatal, mehakel hayim bechesed, mechayei hakol berachamim rabim, somech noflim ve'ofech olim, umatir asurim, ומחייהם אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומידו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. Baruch atah Adonai ha'elu ha'kol.
Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yahalelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el ha'kadosh.
Daniel Yasher Kohech, beautiful prayer leadership. We all may be seated. And as I've told Danielle and Adina already, they are wonderful prayer leaders in their own right for what they know and how they're able to bring it to life here on the Bima. But 90% of prayer leadership is what happens when you're off the Bima, when you're out among people doing kind acts and treating them with dignity and respect. So not only are you wonderful Shlichot Tzibor prayer leaders, but also we've got a couple mensches on our hands. That's the most important thing. So thank you. We'll read responsively. Almighty God, withdraw your ancient curse of Babel. Remove from mankind the confusion of tongues.
Bless us with the blessing of language, so there can be speech even among angry men.
Bless us with the blessing of understanding, so even prejudiced men can understand.
Grant us the divine power of words, Adonai, that we may speak with our brothers and sisters.
Open their ears that they may hear us. Open their hearts that they may understand us.
Open their mouths that they may answer. Open our ears and our hearts that we may respond.
O return unto all your children speech, that we may once more speak together as brothers and sisters of peace.
Baruch atah Adonai, hamavarech et amo Yisrael b'shalom.
Blessed are you, Adonai, who blesses your people Israel with peace.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Ki atah melech adon lecho Shalom, Ki atah melech adon, lecho shalom, shalom rav al Yisrael amcha, tasim leolam, shalom rav al Yisrael amcha, tasim leolam, v'tov be'einecha levarech et amcha Yisrael, bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Tasim leolam. Tasim leolam.
We turn our thoughts now to those in need of healing, those who lie in beds of pain, those who travel a painful road to recovery, those of us dealing with the hurt and trauma of these past few years, anyone ailing in mind, body, and spirit. For them we ask for healing. For those taking care of them, their friends and family, we ask for fortitude and strength. For the medical professionals who work so hard and put themselves at risk to take care of our loved ones, we ask for wisdom and protection. If there's someone you're thinking of at this time, someone in need of healing, please hold their name tightly in your heart at this moment, just for a little. And I hope that you'll continue to think of them after this service, so give them a call, send them a text, plan the next visit. Our rabbis tell us that when we visit someone in need, it takes away 1/60th of their suffering. All the more so when so many of us spend our time and share our love. So we will sing together now our prayer for healing, Misha Berach.
Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing and let us say, Amen. Mi shebeirach imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
We turn our attention to the yearnings of our heart, so often drowned out by the chaos of the week. So I'd ask us in this moment of silence, perhaps the first moment of silence you've had in a while, to listen to the prayer within your own hearts.
Yihiyu l'ratzon imrei fi, Yihiyu l'ratzon imrei fi, Hegyon libi lefanecha, Yihiyu l'ratzon imrei fi. Adonai tzuri vegoali, Adonai tzuri vegoali. My God, my rock, and my Redeemer, Adonai tzuri vegoali. My heart opens for you, my lips, they pray to you. Please, please, shine through. Yehu l'ratzon imrei fi, Yehu l'ratzon imrei fi, Vehegyon libi lefanecha, Yehu l'ratzon imrei fi. My heart opens for you, my lips, they pray to you. Please, please, shine through. Yehu l'ratzon imrei fi, imrei fi, Yehu l'ratzon imrei fi, imrei fi, Vehegyon libi lefanecha, Yehu l'ratzon imrei fi.
Okay. So now is the part of the service where usually I'll take out my sermon and know what I'm going to talk about, but we're going to do something different this week. I thought this would be a fun week for what we call Ask the Rabbi, where any questions that you, because I'm the rabbi. So, any questions you have about Judaism, I cannot answer questions about science or math. That is not my area of expertise, but you can ask them, and I guess I can struggle my way through them. I want to acknowledge, before I bring a microphone around for questions, that this has been a big and interesting and challenging week. That there are lots of things that we have questions about and things we want to talk about. Bodily autonomy, abortion access, the sanctity of our institutions. There are all kinds of things to talk about. And I want us to hold those questions. I know they are burning in us and that we really want to know. Rabbi Simon is going to speak about that subject next week. We wanted to make sure that we had the time to explore our sources, formulate a response, and really bring the congregation what it needs, because it is a real challenge to do all of that in 2 days. So any other questions you have, even if you have those questions, you can probably ask those too. But I'm going to come around. Cantor is going to keep time, because I want to answer as many questions as I can so that we can learn as much, and you're going to be guiding the conversation. So who's got a question? Who's our brave first asker? Anything. Anything. All right. On over here. Oh, go for it. Here you go.
Hi, Rabbi Michael. I'm a new Tampa guy, Tom Bornstein. But
Tom, nice to meet you.
good to meet you, Rabbi Michael. Finally.
What's your question?
Well, as someone who's both being born an American Jew but having lived in Israel, where do you think our Jewish theology is on how we bring this scattered people, even though we've got a reborn state, to sense that the house of Israel, I say, has many rooms, and yet we know our movements sometimes get all caught up in our own jargon. What's your thought on that?
Okay. So that's a really good question, Tom, and it's a big one, right? How do we instill a sense of Klal Yisrael, right? How do we create a sense of being a community of Israel when not only are we in so many different parts of the world, right? American Judaism, Israeli Judaism, there are Jews all over Europe and every country in the world, a lot of countries. And even within those countries, right, we have divides and distinctions and different customs. How do we keep a sense of Jewish community? I think one of the big ones is the Jewish calendar, right? That we all celebrate the same holidays at the same time. Now, even there are divisions, right? You know, 1 day versus 2 days of holidays. But if there's one other thing that brings Jews together, it's disagreeing with each other, right? Jews even within the same communities have been doing that for thousands of years. I'd say it's really one of the bases of Judaism, right? Arguing with each other, because that's how we come towards truth. So I think the most important thing we can do to bring about a sense of Klal Yisrael is continuing to disagree with each other, having conversations about them, acknowledging that our communities are going to come to different answers, and then keeping those conversations going. Because I think it's really through acknowledging all of our differences that we begin to highlight the things that are the same. So that's my answer to that. It's a very good question. All right. Got another over here. Let me get my cardio in for the day.
How do you view disease if someone has some sort of sickness or ailment and they feel disconnected from God?
Okay. Getting the big ones tonight. Thank you. And what's your name, just for everyone here?
Kara.
Kara, very good question. So the question is, how do we deal with disease causing a sense of disconnectedness from God? Which I think is an even bigger question, because it's an essential question that people have been asking for a very long time, which is, why do bad things happen to good people, right? And the sort of question that lies within that is, how could God let bad things happen to good people? I actually had a conversation with someone about this the other day. Part of it is that the understanding of God as the doler out of punishments and the rewarder of good, is one of our earliest Jewish conceptions of God, right? That comes right from Deuteronomy, that when you do good things, God gives you good things, and when you do bad things, God gives you bad things. That's right there. Even within Tanakh, we have books that disagree with that. Anyone heard of the book of Job? Right, book of Job, right? Hasatan, which isn't a proper name, it's a title. It's like God's prosecutor, in case anyone tells you otherwise. Satan goes to God and says, hey, there's this guy Job, and he's super faithful, and he's only faithful because of all the good stuff you gave him. If you take it away, then then he won't worship you anymore. God says, okay, I don't even need to get to the rest of the book, because that's a big theological problem. Someone in the Bible, right, it's in the Bible, remember that, has questions about divine justice. Do good things happen to good people and bad things happen to bad? The rabbis had that question too, because they started looking around at the world that we have, and realizing, oh, we all know wonderful people who have gotten a lot more than their fair share of bad things happening to them, and evil people who are never punished. They come up with this idea called the world to come, right, which Shabbat is 1/60th of, where if you've had bad things happen to you and you deserve good things, in the world to come, the equation will all balance out, and vice versa. So they acknowledge this problem, and their answer is, just wait a while, and it'll work itself out. You get further along, all kinds of different ideas come about, and I think this notion that if we've done something, this idea that divine justice, the way that it works, is do good, get good, do bad, get bad. It's stuck around, because oftentimes when we hear about someone getting sick, the first thing we say is, oh, they don't deserve it, right? That's kind of the first thing that comes to mind. I find that a very challenging idea. That isn't how I understand God. I think that illness happens because of splitting of genes the wrong way, because of germs going around. I can't believe in a God who controls the movement of every germ, every little virus molecule through the world. Not only is that a trivial God, but that's a God that, to me, feels evil. I couldn't worship that God. So I think the solution, I don't know if there's a solution, Kara, it's a big question, is that there are a lot of ways to understand God, and it's been very diverse even since the beginning of Judaism. If your understanding of God and looking around at the world around you is making you disconnect, it's okay to explore something different. And it's okay to feel disconnected, because my relationship with God changes from moment to moment, from day to day, from year to year. Depends on what's going on. So feeling disconnected, I think, just means that there's more to explore, there's more to challenge a little bit. And my hope is that anyone who's looking for it finds an understanding of God that lets them find meaning and healing in that relationship and not hurt and blame. That's what I would say. Here, send me an email. We can talk later if you want. This is it's the beginning of a conversation. Cantor, how are we doing? One more question. Okay. Do we have one more question? Okay, we got one in the back. All right, give me a hard one this time.
Right.
You got. What's your name for the crowd?
Jane.
Jane, it's nice to meet you. Nice to see you.
How did the Jewish religion start?
How did the Jewish? Oh boy. Okay, Jane. That's a hard question. Jane's question was, how did the Jewish religion start? Here's the answer. We don't know. So the Jewish religion developed around, I want to say 4,500 years ago, but I could be wrong. Don't pin me down on a number. And there are different approaches. One is the Torah, right? The Torah is the story that the Jews tell ourselves about where we came from. And that approach is, Abraham was this guy who was in another religion. He worshipped idols just like everyone did. And God came to him and said, hey, let's try something different. I'm one God. You can worship me, and I'll give you land, I'll give you kids, I'll give you a whole lot of wealth. And then that was the beginning of the covenant, right? And that covenant led our people to Egypt, and then we left. God saved us from Egypt, fulfilling a promise. We got the Torah, and then that was passed down through the generations. That's the story we tell, right? There's another story that historians tell, where we were a group, part of some other religion in that region, just doing everything that other people did, and then somehow somebody said, hold on a second, let's do this a little different. What if there's one God? Which was a really wild idea at the time, because no one believed that, right? You had the God of the sun, you had the God of the moon, you had the God of the river. They were all like fighting each other all the time. Someone at some point said, there's one God, and they gathered a whole bunch of people around them, and they started telling stories about who they were, and they passed those stories down through the generations. And the most important thing about wondering where the Jews came from is that wherever we came from, and however long ago, we're still here. Our ancestors did something right. They built something that lasted, not like most TVs nowadays. They created a story for us to tell about ourselves, a history for us to live, and live as if all of us went through it, right? We're told we were all at Sinai, right? We all left Egypt. The Red Sea, the sides of it were like mirrors, so they could see the generations before and after. However Jews started, all of us were there, in a way. And I hope that all of us feel that, not just that we were there at the beginning, but that we're all an essential part of building the Judaism to come. Okay, and I hope that helps a little bit. And you have a lot of time to figure out your own answers for this, and I'm happy to be a part of that journey in whatever way you need. Cantor, how are we doing on time? Okay. All right. Well, thank you, everyone, for your very thoughtful questions. And if you have any other questions, you can always feel free to send me an email, give me a phone call. Answering Jewish questions is my favorite thing to do, which is why I ask Cantor to keep time. So it's at this point during the service, we're going to call up Karen Green, representative of our board, to offer some words to our community.
Good evening and Shabbat Shalom. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I'd like to welcome everyone to Congregation Schaarai Zedek. At Schaarai Zedek, we're very proud of the variety of programs we offer. Events for the upcoming week can be found inside your service handout and in this week's e-news, which can also be viewed on our website, www.zedek.org. If you have any questions, please ask a member of our clergy or staff. For those live streaming tonight's services, we welcome you and hope you'll visit the website to view upcoming events. Again, whether you're in our sanctuary or joining us from home, we're glad that you're with us tonight, and we hope to see you again soon. Please join our clergy and staff at our Oneg Shabbat immediately following services. For anyone interested in learning more about our congregation, or for any congregants interested in getting more involved in Congregation Schaarai Zedek, please visit our membership table at the Oneg Shabbat. We'll be happy to answer any questions you have. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom, and thank you, Karen. And not to undercut you saying, look in the program for announcements, I wanted to highlight some quick things. One, Torah study tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., we're talking Kedoshim. Tomorrow morning and afternoon. Morning, we're celebrating with Adina as she becomes Bat Mitzvah. In the afternoon, we're celebrating with Danielle as she becomes Bat Mitzvah. It's going to be a really wonderful, joyous Shabbat. Next Wednesday, I'll be running the next session of my Schaarai Zedek gaming project, exploring video games through a Jewish lens. We're going to be looking at a game called Before Your Eyes that uses your camera and blinking as part of the control scheme. I encourage anyone who's interested to play the game beforehand and then join us on Zoom. If you need technical support, send me an email, get in touch. I'm happy to help. I didn't go to HUC to help congregants download Steam on their computers, but that's where we end up. I'm absolutely happy to help. Next Thursday, we have Romeos and Juliets, where we'll be learning about the music, the comedy, and food of the Catskills and the Borscht Belt. It should be a lot of fun. If you have any interest in that moment in time, if you have no concept of it, come learn. It should be a lot of fun. And then Sunday after next, we have confirmation, and we hope that anyone who wants to be here to celebrate with our young people as they enter the next phase of their Jewish learning, we would be happy to have you here.
And if you're not into confirmation, or if you prefer to do something else, I will be doing a concert at B'nai Israel in St. Petersburg at 4 o'clock on Sunday, May 15th. I'll be singing along with Cantor Jonathan Schultz and Cantor Tanya Greenplatt. The three of us will be doing From Bema to Broadway. Or I think it's From Bema to Bebop is what it's entitled.
That is
anyway,
an all-star cantor lineup.
it should be a lot of fun.
And that's it. The rest you can find on zedek.org, which I encourage you to make your homepage, because there's always good stuff there.
Indeed.
It is not just Shabbat. We are also in the period of the Omer, 7 weeks of 7 days, counting from the second night of Passover until Shavuot, when the people of Israel received the Ten Commandments at Sinai. And so it is our custom to count the Omer when we're all here together. We'll start with a blessing, which you can feel free to join in, and we'll continue with the announcement of the day. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sfirat ha'omer. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who shows us pathways towards holiness and encourages us to engage in this sacred act, counting the Omer. Here we go. Hayom echad ve'esrim yom shehem shlosha shavuot la Omer. Today is 21 days, which is 3 weeks of the Omer. It's more round than usual this year because it started on Shabbat. So, okay, that's the Omer, everybody. We're now going to rise together in our places or in our hearts for Aleinu.
La'adon ha'ol, la'teit gedula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu v'lo haratzot, v'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu k'cho hamonam, va'anachnu Shahavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamalachim hakadosh baruch hu v'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz hayom hahu yeh Adonai echad
And we are seated. The light of life is a finite flame. Like the Shabbat candles, life is kindled, it burns, it glows. It is radiant with warmth and beauty, but soon it fades, its substance is consumed, and it is no more. In light we see, in light we are seen. The flames dance and our lives are full, but as night follows day, the candle of our life burns down and gutters. There is an end to the flames. We see no more and are no more seen, yet we do not despair. For we are more than a memory slowly fading into the darkness. With our lives we give life. Something of us can never die. We move in the eternal cycle of darkness and death, of light and life. It is at this time that we remember those who gave life to our lives, who, though they are no longer with us, they continue to live on through us in the wisdom they shared and the love that they gave so generously. At this time, our community remembers those who have been recently laid to rest: Ed Sherman, Stephen Grossman, Beth Rosencrantz Straight, Paulette Rich Geierman, Susan Silver, Barbara Ingber. We remember those who are to be laid to rest: Miguel Redhamal and Barbara Eller. We also think of those whose yahrzeits we commemorate on this Shabbat, the memorials of whose deaths we observe: Sophie Baruch, Richard Baden, Leonard Beckenstein, Isaac Brower, Fanny Brynan, Sidney Brodsky, Louis Burkham, Lita Dobrzhansky, Helen Eckerd, Edward Eliasberg, Philip Ellis, Shelley Franco, Alan Frank, Philip Gall, Nathan Glasser, Harry Goldman, David Goodman, Ida Gottfried, Harry Grumman, Jacob Hyman, Lucia Igel, Louis Jaffe, Gretchen Kotler, Rabbi Bill Curry, Frida Landau, Paula Levy, Richard Mallon, Mary Mandel, Tibba Mendelson, Jillian Miller, Louis Osinski Jr., Irving Pallas, Molly Peer, Maurice Pock, Karen Richter, Victor Rubin, Linda Sanders, Martin Schulkind, Faye Schwartz, Richard Schwartz, Samuel Shainwald, Rebecca Stanfield, Joseph Starr, Fred Steinhauser, Rose Waxman, Louis Weiner, Elsie Weinstein, Brian Werbel, and Arthur Winters. And to those names we add the names of all of our loved ones who we remember on this Shabbat. I encourage you for just a moment to hold them tightly in your heart, to remember them the way you always want to remember them, at their kindest and strongest moments. Let's take a second. We entwine names and memory in the love that death leaves behind as we rise as a community to offer the mourner's Kaddish, a prayer giving thanks to God for sharing all of these special lives with us. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divarach hiruteh v'yamlich malchuteh, v'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayeh dechol Beit Yisrael, v'agala u'v'zman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevorach le'olam u'lalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yit'alal shemei dekudesha b'richu. Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Da'amiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. And we say together, Amen.
And our closing song tonight is Ma Yafeh Hayom. What a wonderful thing to say. How beautiful is this day.
Words are easy.
Ma Yafeh Hayom. Shabbat Shalom. Ma Yafeh Hayom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. We can, if you'd like.
All right, I want to invite up anyone under the age of 13, not yet at Bar Bat Mitzvah, to come up here and say Motzi with us.
We usually did 18.
18?
Back in the day, prior to the come on up if you are under 18 years old. Come up. Danielle, why don't you hold the challah? Adina, you can help her. Everybody come around. We haven't done this in a while. It's good. Go on, get around the challah, because you're all going to get a chance to rip it to pieces in about a minute. And we're all going to say together, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. B'tei avon.
Everybody can grab a piece.
Go ahead and rip it up.
You can eat in the sanctuary. It's okay. Nourish our souls and nourish our stomachs. Well, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. It is so wonderful to have been here with you tonight. Please join us for our oneg and have a wonderful evening.
this world with harp and with lyre, resounding strings rejoice. Let's sing in this world all as one choir with every single voice. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Let's praise this world with timbrels and songs. We make a mighty sound. Let's dance in this world, for we all belong. Together we are bound. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Kol hanshama, 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 kol hanshama. Kol hanshama, tehaleluya. 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 Let's praise this world from winter through summer, our spirits soaring high. Let's breathe in this world with all of its wonders beneath these open skies. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah.
Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu malkeinu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu malkeinu lechaim.
Hashkivenu Adonai,
Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu malkeinu l'chayim.
Ushmor tzedekenu, uvoenu, l'chayim u'shalom, me'ata ve'ad olam. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu malkeinu l'chayim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu
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 Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu malkeinu
Oseh shalom bimroma, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. 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 Ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'al kol Yisrael ve'yimeru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mroma, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom b'mroma, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimroma,
ותפארת במקדשו, 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 ותפארת במקדשו. שים שלום טובה וברכה, חן וחסד ורחמים עלינו ועל כל ישראל עמך. שים שלום טובה וברכה, חן וחסד ורחמים עלינו ועל כל ישראל עמך. So bring it down now, all around now, oh, bring it down on us. So bring it down now, we're all around now, oh, go on, spread some love. Sim shalom tova uvracha, chen v'chesed v'rachamim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael amecha. So bring it down now, we're all around now, oh, bring it down on us. So bring it down now, all around now, oh, go on, spread some love, go on, spread some love, I say go on, spread some love. Sim shalom
לא תבושי ולא תקמי, מה תשתוכחי ומה תמי. בך יחסו עניי עמי, ונבנתה עיר על תילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת לקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת לקבלה. והיו למשיסה שוסייך, ורחקו חומר ולייך. יסיס עלייך אלוהייך, כמסוס חתם על כלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת לקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת לקבלה. ימין ושמאל תפרוצי, ואת אדוני תריצי. על יד איש בן פרצי, ונשמחה ונגילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת לקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת לקבלה. בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה. תוך אמוני עם סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת לקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת לקבלה. שלום מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון, מלאכי השלום. שלום